Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Naufal Dhiaulhaq from PBI. I would like to present my paper, An Analysis of Illocutionary Act in Alternative Math, Short Movie's Main Character. This research aimed to identify the illocutionary act, the most dominant type used, and the relation between the character and the illocutionary act used in the short movie entitled Alternative Math. The method used in this research is qualitative. The research collects the data by transcribing the dialogue from the short movie and identifying the illocutionary act found throughout the dialogues. The result shows there are 4 types of illocutionary act used in the short movie. Those 4 types are declaratives, representatives, expressives, and directives illocutionary act. The representative illocutionary act is the most dominant type used by the main character. So misunderstanding is very common in our daily conversation. What we say is sometimes interpreted differently by others, and what others say can be interpreted differently by us. The reason behind this could be due to differences in perspective, assumption, culture, or the most classic reason, which is mishearing and other possibilities. More than that, we need to understand the topic of the conversation and the context to avoid any misinterpretation. In linguistics, we know speech act. The theory is the part of pragmatics that explains how people's utterances is not only certain information, but also actions. These days, short movie gain a lot of attention from people around the world. The story is not as long as regular movie, which is an hour or 2, and the viewer can be more focused on the message delivered. This research analyzed the utterances of the characters in a short movie entitled Alternative Math. This 9 minutes long short movie from IdeaMan YouTube channel tells the story of a math teacher who is protested by parents for correcting a student's wrong answer until she is put on a trial and gets sanctioned. Although packaged in briefly and wittily, this short movie carries a deep message and criticizes the education in the USA and the mindset of the American people who don't care about the truth. This research aimed to make the readers understand about illocutionary acts of people's utterances. As the events in the short movie revolve around school, the writer hoped that readers who will and are in the world of education can benefit from the result and discussion of this research. Things that are analyzed in this research are what illocutionary act used, the most dominant type, and how the illocutionary act and the characters are related. In order to answer those, the researchers transcribed the dialogues to be analyzed. So the analysis of illocutionary acts have been done by many researchers many before. Kumala, 2018, identifies the illocutionary act, and prelocutionary act in the Crouch movie. And then Hutajulu and Herman had a research to find out the types of illocutionary act and to analyze the most dominant illocutionary act produced in You Are My Home movie English subtitle. And then Sembiling and Ambalakin conducted a qualitative research to find out the types and the function of context of illocutionary act on Aladdin movie. And there is Puji Haryati et al. Conducted a research to find out the types of illocutionary act in Jack Ma's inspiring speech. And then Ramayanti and Marlina studied the movie Tangled to find out the types of illocutionary acts. And then Rosella, Wijaya, and Helmi identify the directive speech act performed in The Fault in Our Stars. So when we talk about language, the first word comes into our mind is meaning. When people talk, we got information by decoding the meaning, trying to understand what speaker said or what the speaker wants us to do. Pragmatic is a study of meaning. Yule explained, pragmatics is the study of speaker's meaning and the study of contextual meaning, the study of how more gets communicated than it's said, and the study of expression of relative distance. Context is an important thing in pragmatics, so it deals with the relationship between the sentence and the situations. We move to the theory of speech act. By using language, people express what they have in their mind. Speech act is an important part of the theory of pragmatics. It is action performed via utterances, and it's a tool that lets people perform actions not only by doing it physically but also by talking. Yule mentioned three kinds of speech act. The first is locutionary, which is the basic act of utterances or producing a meaningful linguistic expression. The second is illocutionary act, which is an act that is performed via the communicative force of an utterances. And the third is prolocutionary act, which is creating an utterances with a function that the hearer will easily recognize the effect we intended. The illocutionary act, we can say, is the intentions or speaker's action through utterances. For example, when your friend said, "Do you have a pen?" Our friend is not just asking if we have a pen or not. This is the act of demanding. Yule classified this into 5 types of general function. There are declaration, representative, expressive, directives, and commissive. So the method. A qualitative research is used to analyze the illocutionary act from alternative math short movie. Kotari, cited by Ratnasari and Edel, explained that qualitative research is concerned with qualitative phenomenon. Phenomena relating to or involving quality or kind. From this, we can conclude that qualitative research aims to describe and analyze data in specific and systematic way. Therefore, a qualitative research does not include any calculation. The data of the study are in the form of utterances by main character of the alternative math short movie. The main character of the short movie is a math teacher. The short movie is from the YouTube channel Idea Man. In order to gather the data, the researchers watch the movie and pay attention to the detail, then transcribe the dialogue of the short movie and identify the dialogues from the main character. The data analysis method. Read the transcribed dialogue from the short movie, and then the researchers find the illocutionary act, classify it, analyze it, and identify the most dominant type of illocutionary act, and then conclude the research. And then the finding. The first is declarative illocutionary act. For example, here we can see Danny shows the test result and the teachers said, looks like you're having some trouble with addition. Now don't be upset. You're here to learn, and we learn from mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. The participant of this dialogue is the teacher and Danny. Danny shows the result of his test, and the teacher say that he got some trouble with addition and asks him to not worry. The utterance above shows that the teacher concludes that Danny got some trouble in addition and asks him not to be upset. These utterances indicates the declare function. There are 3 declarative functions, illocutionary act, in this short movie. We move to representative illocutionary act. Number 1, Danny. 22. The teacher. No, Danny, it's 4. The participant of this dialogue is the teacher and Danny. Danny insisted that the right answer is 22. The teacher told him the right answer. The utterance, no Danny, it's 4, shows that the teacher is tired of Danny won't accept the fact that 2 plus 2 equals 4. So she directly told him the answers as how math works. This utterances indicates the statement of fact. And we have 10 kind of representative illocutionary act in the short movie, mostly about fact and the teacher's belief. And then we have expressive illocutionary act. Danny's mom: no, she's right. The teacher: thank you. The participants of this dialogue are the teacher and Danny's mom. Danny's mom said that the teacher is right, although it's just how she mocks the math teacher. The teacher thanks Danny's mom for supporting her. The utterance "thank you" shows that the teacher sincerely felt thankful to Danny's mom for supporting her explanation after some debate before. These utterances indicate the function of appreciate. There are 7 expressive illocutionary acts in this short movie. And the last we have directive illocutionary act. Here, for example, Danny approaches the teacher by looking angry. Oh, hi Danny, come on in. The participant of this dialogue is the teacher and Danny. Danny looks angry and approaches the teacher. The math teacher asks Danny to come into the classroom. The utterance shows that the teacher knows there is something wrong and she asks Danny to come so he can understand what is going on. These utterances indicate the common function. So there are 4 in the directive illocutionary act. The conclusion after the analysis is done, the researcher found out that the types of illocutionary acts are declaratives, representatives, expressives, and directives illocutionary act. The most dominant types used is representative illocutionary act, which associated to the speaker's belief and fact, and this is in line with the characters of the math teacher, who needs to prioritize fact above anything. And then we got 3 declarative illocutionary act, 10 representative illocutionary act, 7 expressives, and 4 directives. The most dominant type is representative illocutionary act. And this is quite natural because mathematics is an exact science and it cannot be negotiated. So a math teacher must be firm and he stands on mathematics. So this is the end of my presentation. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.